Before I start the video, I just want to say that I put a ridiculous amount of time into this. It took me a week straight, not even kidding, like a little bit more than a week. And the total time that my game was on was 68 hours, and total fight time was 17 hours and 32 minutes. I spent 17 hours D-ranking nonstop. So, with that being said, make sure you guys unsub from JMak. If you haven't subbed to my channel, JMak, make sure you subscribe right now and then unsub from my channel. And with that being said, let's start this fucking journey that I went on. So it all started at a Smash party with a couple of my friends. You know, we were chugging some Dr. Peps, smashing with the boys, sucking some Pei-Peis, you know. But we were playing for 14 hours, and my delusional self was like, hey, what would it take to be the lowest ranked player in Super Smash Bros? So that night, I went home and I actually went to grinding, and I got Mario to 1 GSP. And it took me 55 games. I won 3 games and lost 52 games. And yeah, after that, I said, let's just do the entire roster, and that was the worst decision I've ever come up with. But I found some really amazing things about GSP and what GSP is. I think it really helped me better understand what global Smash power is. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how GSP is not player unique. It is not player unique, and every single video that you find, everyone is going to say that it's your rank. No one else could have it. So that means if you're 1 GSP, you are the lowest of the lowest player in the entire game, because it's global Smash power. That means the entire globe, you're global, right? But that's not true. I don't know what Sakurai was thinking. I don't know if this is just a mistake or if there's any type of error, but anyone could be 1 GSP with every single character. So as I did it, I got all 70 fighters, current 70 fighters, to 1 GSP. You could do the same exact thing, and we could both be the worst Smash player in the entire game. And I have proof of how someone could both be 1 GSP. Actually, before this Incineroar post that this kind of blew up, it got like 13,000 upvotes, which is crazy. This Duck Hunt actually posted something right here of this picture and only got a couple hundred. And I was kind of worried because I was mid-roster at that time. This was a couple days ago, and I was freaking out. I was like, holy shit, someone might have the same idea as me. I gotta hurry this shit up. But yesterday, the 24th, I want to say, the Incineroar made the post, and I was freaking out because it was getting a lot of traction, and I was like, holy shit, my idea is gonna get stolen. Someone's got to come up with this. I need to work on this quick. So I'm not even kidding, I just blown through 30 fighters in a single night, which is crazy. Think about this. It takes, per fighter, it's gonna take about 30 minutes, right? So every 2 fighters, it's gonna take about an hour. So you can do the math there. But anyway, here's the Incineroar pick, here's mine, and then here's the Duck Hunt picture, and then here's mine. As you can see that they're 1 GSP and I'm 1 GSP. We are the both rank online. So it's not global and it's not region. It doesn't matter. I even tried this on my Smurf account and it didn't matter. I was still 1 GSP. Anyone could be 1 GSP. Even if you were 23,000 GSP, someone could have that same exact GSP rank, which is crazy to me. And I don't know what Sakurai was thinking. I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know if they had the actual technology to do this. I have no clue, but that's just what I'm noticing. So anyone could be 1 GSP. The second point was the roster GSP. And the roster GSP, I have no fucking idea what's going on with this bullshit here. It makes no sense. I have no idea. I got more confused as I was de-ranking myself. The original thought process was, okay, the roster GSP just calculates everything, with your roster and calculates it all and then puts it in one number, right? Your roster GSP. But as I was de-ranking to 1 GSP with every single fighter, it kept going up. It didn't stop going up, and it just didn't care. It just kept going up and up and up and up. And by the end of it, I started at about 1 million roster GSP. By the end of it, all 70 fighters, it got me to 2 million roster GSP. That makes no sense. I have no idea what the hell roster GSP even is. I don't know if it's maybe just the average of all players in Smash. Like 2 million is considered the average, but that's not right, because 2 million is, in my head right now, is, I believe, high tier like online gameplay. I could be completely wrong, right? I just like to see that 2 million plus is pretty decent, right? I want to say that 1.4, 1.5 million is like the average for competitive play. But, I mean, I could be wrong. It changes all the time, so I have no idea what roster GSP is. While I was conducting my experiment, that didn't really help me, and I didn't really find out what the hell roster GSP is. So, that's still a mystery. Now, this one was more interesting to me, and it was the average amount of games it would take to get to 1 GSP. Now, the average actually rose the more games you played. So when we got to that 70 fighter mark, the average was much higher than when we first started in the roster, which is kind of crazy. Now, the first character that you play, which I did, was Mario. The first character out of the box, brand new account. My GSP with Mario was around 1.2 million, okay? So that took about 55 games, and I was really kind of scared of getting banned. I didn't fully understand how to derank properly. And the system that I was doing was I would lose like, 15, 20 games, then win one. And I found out that you don't actually have to win at all. So after this, I didn't intentionally win at all. So I played 55 games with Mario and 53 losses it took to get to 1 GSP with Mario, only with 3 wins. Okay. And the next one, it was kind of like around 20 or 15, right? And it kept going to that 15 average. So after each character was 15, you could even see, I'll roll it through. You can see, so the top of those average is actually towards like the end of the roster, and the bottom of it is going to be towards what I was starting, right? So you can kind of see the averages there. And I want to say that the average was around 20 matches. 20 matches it took to get to 1 GSP at around 21 to 30,000 GSP, I want to say, somewhere around there. Now, time to get into the meaty shit, that juicy GSP. What does it actually mean? How does it work? Now, GSP is global smash power, as you probably know. And when you first launch the game, like first right out of the box, get online, play your first game, it's going to give you an average score of the entire player base of Smash. So at my time, my average, or the game's average, was 1 million. So that number will change every single time that first player goes on. After that first game, me losing that many times, it actually determined my average for each character. Now, the average is not actually within your roster GSP. That has nothing to do with the average. I don't think it has anything to do with your average. The average is actually the blue, like, kind of lightest blue on a character that you haven't played online. So if you go on your console right now and look at a character that you've never played online, you'll see a bluish tint on the GSP. That's actually your average within all characters, and it bases it on, okay, if this person picks up this new character, let's give him a much kind of slighter higher GSP, right? Because he's never actually played this character online, but he has some skill with another character that's at, let's say, 2 million GSP, right? So it'll kind of determine and make its own little prediction on a character that you've never played before. And my average was around 20 to 30,000. It was no more than 30,000, no less than 20,000. And that's that sweet spot that Nintendo likes, right? And this is where it gets a little interesting. So Nintendo doesn't like it when a player is kind of below 20,000, because your GSP, if you win, let's say you're at 7,000 GSP and you win against someone that has like 40,000, it's going to boost you up a lot. I mean, a lot. It's going to basically put you back at that 20,000 like GSP kind of rank, right? It's going to boost you up 3 to 4,000, which at that rank is a lot, right? You're losing 500, but you're gaining 6,000. That's a lot of GSP. And Nintendo really doesn't like you to be at 1 GSP. They don't want you to be at the lowest rank ever. They don't want people to feel bad about themselves. So what they actually do, which I find really cool, if somebody that's at like 400, 500, 600,000 GSP, like a big GSP compared to these littler guys, and they're on a massive loss streak, they'll actually match you with that player that's on a loss streak. So when I was around 6,000 GSP, they matched me against someone that was at 600,000 GSP, and this just didn't happen once. This happened a couple times, and the player did not play well. Someone could have easily destroyed him at that rank at like 6,000. And that person, if they would have won that game, it would have significantly boosted their GSP. So Nintendo never wants a player really, really low in rank. They never want to be having players at 1 GSP or 1,000 GSP. They want people to be at like 20, 30,000 or even higher. They just want to make people feel good about themselves, which is completely understandable. All right, so in conclusion, we talked about how GSP is not player unique. It's still whether unclear that, your roster GSP is actually unique to you, or it's just the global roster, like kind of the average. How many games did it take to get to 1 GSP? It took about 15. I explained how GSP works and how you can get out of the elo hell and kind of all that shit. So I think I explained almost everything. I tried to take part of the Reddit post that I made and try to take part of questions that people were asking. One that I did not address was, is your 1 GSP actually cached? Like, how can you guys both have 1 GSP? It is not cached. I have it on my main and I have it on my alt. I've also DM'd these guys saying like, hey, do you guys still have 1 GSP or were you moved to 2 GSP? And this was a couple days after, so it's 100% not cached. It's not desynced. It's not anything like that. We literally both have 1 GSP. So now what I know of, there's 3 1 GSP worst incineroars right now. My main, my alt, and that lettuce guy. So I'm sorry if I don't remember your full name, but if you guys enjoyed the video, please drop your questions about any specific GSP related things. I'll go out of my way to answer it. And as always guys, lube the fuck up. My name is JMak. Unsub for me. Peace.